Jose had designed these, like flopping jaw kind of super tech faces that we might get that. So I think part of that is you've really focused on the eyes and simplifying it so that when we see it,
It's simplified, but the design is very important. For the characters to communicate what they're feeling is very important. So that's why we try to simplify, get rid of the things that we thought were not necessary. So let's focus on the more important things like the transformations and how we break the parts and all that.
You guys were talking about how tight the schedule is. I always wondered about 3D cartoons and the way it works. How many episodes do you have to have done before you start with it in mind to complete the entire season? And then actually, how long does it take for an episode to be done? And then do you guys have any fear? I mean, Transformers is a popular franchise, so I guess you imagine it's not the first season's going to get greenlit to go the entire way. But is there a situation where you can have so many episodes done and you're worried about cancellation or anything like that?
I'll answer the second part first, which is, unfortunately, television, you're always afraid of cancellation because it's not always about the quality of the show or how good the storytelling is. I did a show, The Renegades, that I like a lot, that at the moment is on hiatus, that I wouldn't have predicted that for, that we were able to do with it. But you hope for the best. You go into it hoping that you've always got to, you can't assume you're going to get to do something with it.
With schedule and how we work production, it's different on any show. Every show is a little bit different and customized, but this show, from, like Jeff was saying, season 1, first episodes, 10 months, which was pushing it because we had zero or very little development time. Into season 2, our episodes take about a year from start to finish, from script to air, about a year for every episode. So we're constantly in production on multiple episodes, all in different phases of that production, all at the same time, and we are finishing them a week or two before they go on air. Mm-hmm. We're not finishing them months and months ahead of time. And actually the first 5 that went on air finished like days before they went on air. So we're right up to the last minute.
And if you think about it again, it's CG, mostly, a lot of the initial work is where your time and money goes, all those upfront builds. So for our 5-part miniseries, which we're basically delivering a movie, we had to build everything from scratch. And it's not just 10 lead characters, it's 10 lead characters plus their transformations plus their vehicle models. So it's building 30 lead characters and all these new worlds right out of the gate, which is relatively insane.
I guess we could go to the showstopper with that 5-part miniseries today.
That was hard.
I have, I guess, 2 quick questions. I'm a big G1 fan, and I really like what you're doing, especially towards the end along the season finale. I do have one question / critique, and I know it kind of sort of comes from the movie, but does Bumblebee have to keep being R2-D2? In terms of the technology they have, can we fix his voice box or whatever it is?
That is an excellent question, and we couldn't get to all the stories we wanted to tell in season 1, and there is a terrific 2-parter that explores those very questions, where we get into how Bumblebee lost his voice and all of the ramifications.
Why it hasn't fixed it.
And why not? Yeah, exactly. And it comes very early in season 2, so hopefully you'll be satisfied when you see that.
Well, as long as you can talk afterwards.
I won't promise that,
okay.
But maybe someday.
And secondly, this is more of a comment. I'm a geologist. Nobody here thinks the Earth's core is made of magma. It's a core of nickel and iron, just so you know. That's the magma maybe in the upper part of the sample.
It's a core of an evil robot is what it is.
Well,
I think we've explored that already.
Yes, I have no issue with that. The issue was the statement that Rich made that our scientists believe the Earth's core is made of magma.
Quite honestly, if we had done better in science class, we probably wouldn't be here.
I was reading comic books.
You're doing great. Thank you.
Hi. First, I just wanted to say thank you for Starscream. He is easily one of the most complex animated characters we've seen in a very long time, and it's a joy to watch him continue to develop and grow from just a simple one-dimensional villain who wants to take over into somebody who you really get into the story of. One of the issues I think I'm having with the show, though, and it is one of, it feels like the episodes are being presented in fits and starts, because we get 5 episodes and then we take a month off, and we get 2 episodes and then we take a month off, and then Canada gets 2 episodes and then we get those episodes. And so it becomes very difficult in terms of production to kind of grow with the characters and stay with the storyline. And I'm just wondering, I know that in the first season of anything, it becomes very difficult and complex to get schedules working. And on something like Transformers, there's a lot of expectation and you have to get things out now. Is this something that the production team is conscious of and you're trying to work on for the second season and beyond, or is this something we can expect going forward?
Well, I will actually say that that actually is not these guys' fault. These guys are rocking and rolling to get the episodes done as quickly as possible. And I'm not even going to say fault. I mean, the Hub, which is the network that Prime airs on, they get the episodes, but they're trying to look at what are they going to do for the entire year. So they make those decisions about how many episodes they're going to show, when they're going to take a break, what they're going to do. Our job is to get them as many episodes as possible so that they can shrink those breaks down. And that's what we're trying to do. I think that these guys said it best. We were really, in November when the show first launched, literally days in. I mean, like, they would come in and we're running down the hall to get it on the air in time. And I think that with season 2, we've picked up a little bit of that time, but it's still ultimately the Hub's decision on when they're going to air it. But I think that they're looking to get as much Prime as possible so that you guys get Prime all year round.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing your take on some minors and highlights.
First of all, I have 2 questions, and actually I have one question. My son has a question. Maybe you can answer not verbally. But I'd like to thank you guys, first of all, for the show. We probably have every iteration of Transformers at home on DVD. So from my perspective, it's really awesome to have something I can share with my son, of which I don't know how it's going to end already. So I very much appreciate that. My question is concerning the theme or the score at the beginning. What was your thinking behind not using, and maybe this is a question other people already know, but I don't, not using the original theme or just going with a musical score? What was the thinking behind that?
Honestly, the reason we're not going back to the original score was to kind of put our stake in the ground and say this is a different Transformers. This is our own. And then, as Dwayne has always talked about it, King Arthur, legend, mythology, 30 years of mythology plus that. We really wanted a big, sweeping orchestral score. Bob Orsi, Alex Kurtzman, our partners on this, have worked with Brian Tyler before, who's a major feature composer who no one thought we would get to do a TV series, especially an animated TV series, but he said yes, and he's, as you've heard, delivered something amazing week in and week out. But we really wanted it to feel like a movie. At every turn, every decision we've made from design, production, et cetera, is really to try to make this feel as cinematic as possible.
Okay, my son has a quick question. By the way, shout out for G.I. Joe.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you. That is very good.
When you said it would be their new Transformers in new forms, would it be the Dinobots?
You've been talking to Hasbro too, haven't you?
All of Cybertron kind
That
of
is,
cool thing.
you should just know that that is definitely something on our radar. So that's fair. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, it's kind of a weird question, but with Starscream, why'd you make him so feminine? With, like, he has
Have you
heels.
seen Dwayne's legs?
You go from the really old Transformers from way back when, and they were all boxy, and then you go to animated where he had long legs but big feet, and now he has heels and really long legs, and he looks like a fembot.
I basically learned about sound waves.
I remember I said earlier today, the inspiration for the designs come from the writing. So
Really, we were trying to play to his core. That this is going to come out wrong, but he is Machiavellian, and really that's what we were playing to. Jose will be happy to explain the heels a little bit later on, but we felt that Starscream, his strength was not his physical power. So I think really in large part it wasn't so much that we were trying to be feminine, but we were just trying to diminish really his strengths or in his mind and his cunning, and his games. Which, by the way, obviously often backfire because he has a fatal flaw, and that is his arrogance. So really, honestly, we were playing for that.
But also, he does look fabulous in this.
I mean, we did like the earlier versions of Starscream, we definitely make him bigger, bulkier, because we always thought he was going to be very aggressive. But when we, once we finalized the design of Megatron, we made him bigger than in the rest of the bots. we wanted him to play as the boss. No one can take this guy down. I remember one of the things that when I used to show Jeff drawings, he used to tell me all the time, he's like, Starscream, he's a snake. So I kept making him slimmer as I did various versions of him. And I remember how I got the character approved. I did a sketch of Starscream, and then I silhouetted over it and sketched like a cobra over it. And then Jeff was like, done, perfect. And the legs, I mean, it's just a design thing. As I'm sketching and throwing lines, I mean, the heels came out, and I like them. It's that. Which I think they look great.
Hi, I just wanted to say that in Transformers Animated, I was a huge fan of Bulkhead, and to see him back in Transformers Prime, you know, it was obviously like war-hardened and like tougher, but it really meant a lot to me. And I really love the character, like he's my favorite. I love his interactions with Miko. I have two questions. One, is Miko done being dumb? Through space bridges, getting into trouble. Like, I love her character, but like a lot of people don't because of that. And I'm like, come on, girl, why are you doing that?
I'm actually glad you asked that question. I think we have a gamut of female characters on the show who are interesting, and each in their own way. And Miko's gotten clearly a lot of flack about being dumb. And I don't see her as dumb. I see her as, you know, she is definitely a animation, what's the word? Archetype, you know. We wanted that anime angle. You know, she has the robot on the shirt, and you know, somebody who's like, she found herself in the right place at the right time, the right moment, and she seized it. You know, she is just always seeking adventure. She is all heart. You know, no reasoning. You know, it's sort of the Wizard of Oz thing. You know, Scarecrow, Tin Man, Cowardly Lion, and you know, so it's. I don't think it's the dumbness. It's her hunger for adventure. I think we've also played many times where you see the fear. You know, especially in the 5-parter. Obviously, you know, as they grow, but you know, she makes mistakes. She learns from mistakes. She is young, and she gets right back on the horse again. That said, you will see some pretty strong character development for her in season 2. Really strong, yeah.
One more. Why Arachnid and not Black Arachnia?
I think we're used to Black Arachnia as Transformers guys.
I think that there was discussion about it. I think that given Black Arachnia's arc in the Beast Wars series, we didn't want to appear that we were going to try and follow that arc. You know, she went from being bad to good, and there's a lot of stuff that happened. And I think we really wanted Arachnid to just be our all-out. I can't say what I think she is, but she's awesome. It's not a word I can say on Kids Day, but that's what she is, and it's awesome.
So it was just confusing because she was in animated and everything, and then when I saw previews with her, I was like, oh, Black Arachnia, and then they started calling her Arachnid.
It was definitely an homage, but we just really wanted to like kind of let these guys do their own thing. Like it's what's great about the show is they can take characters like, you know, like Wheeljack and bring him in a whole new way, and like you said with Bulkhead, bring him in and like kind of develop that further. But it's also kind of fun to add to the universe, and I think one of the things that these guys have done a great job is bringing in those new characters like, you know, like Arachnid, like Knockout, who really kind of like shine in like their own way. And so I think it's that balance that these guys are really bringing to the show that's awesome.
All right, I've got a couple of questions actually. First off, I read on some news sites from actor Tony Todd about him supposedly playing a character named Redwing in season 2. Is there any weight to that? Ooh.
Tony's in trouble. So busted.
It's not true.
Not only is there weight, but it's actually true. That one is actually true. Yes, Tony Todd will be with us as Dreadwing.
Nice.
And who also, in our opinion, has a really compelling character arc.
And secondly, I recall also in an interview that you guys released early in season 1 about how Soundwave is not so much mute as he is deliberately not speaking for some reason. What do you suppose would it take to actually get him to talk in his own voice?
Show tunes.
We're going to hold you to that.
But you're not right.
That's something we wouldn't want to spoil because we're eventually going to get there, and I think to answer that in any way would give away what will probably be one of those Transformers Prime's really compelling singular moments, if you know what I mean.
Like Code of Fury.
Understood.
All right, let's. I think we only have a few more minutes, so let's do speed questions, and then maybe we'll have a little something to end the panel with.
No.